So, if you talk about total lifetime spending, just to give you a quick summary, housing 2.2 million, utilities 465,000, food about 900,000, transportation 1.1 million, entertainment 392,000. That's a total of $5.16 million, $5.16 million, and that's throwing in inflation, things like that. So don't you ever dare tell me that black people don't have any money, right? That's not true. We have money. We're just trained to give it all away. We have money, we have time. We're trained to give away our time and give away our money, and we also give away our attention, and sometimes we give away our soul. And so, what I would encourage you to do is to reclaim it. You got to reclaim it. Ownership is everything. First thing you got to own is you. When I say ownership, I'm not talking about owning a house or a car or a business. I'm talking about owning your life. Being born in a capitalist society pretty much means you're sort of trained to sell out from the very beginning. You're trained to position yourself in such a way that you don't get to decide what you're going to do that day. Someone else is deciding that for you. There's some place you have to go just for the right to exist. You have to own, or someone else owns your time. They tell you, hey, get to work at 9 o'clock. This is what you're supposed to do all day. And what unfortunately happens is it ends up stealing your purpose. If I just thought about that and I said, gosh, I'm not just happy about things like choosing to be an entrepreneur and all that, or choosing to get an education, over say, some I know people that, for example, they did other things like went to prison and stuff like that. But I'm really, really happy that I was able to own my time and own my life. A lot of us don't own our own lives. And and also the other thing too is slavery is an intergenerational curse. It's contagious. And so, we want to be really careful about training our children to sell themselves the way we were sold out, right? Like if the only thing you're doing is talking to your child about what kind of job they can get, I don't know if that's the healthiest conversation to have. I think that making sure that entrepreneurship is on the table and figuring out like what can you build, what can you create that's actually yours that gives you space and latitude to live, that's essential. When I became a business owner, the money wasn't the best part. The money was not the, and the money was good, but the money was not the best part. The best part was the freedom. You can't put a price tag on that. How you gonna put a price tag on freedom? Ain't no price tag on freedom. People historically have died for freedom. And so economic freedom, buying yourself out of slavery, is that first step toward you truly becoming a productive asset to you, your life, and your community, and your family as well. That's the first step. In order for you to be able to use an asset, which is you have to free that asset from prior obligations. When an asset is owned and controlled by something or someone else, then that asset's going to be used for the benefit of the owner. And so we are an asset that is owned. Our labor force is an asset that is owned by corporate America. So therefore, corporate America's wealth goes up, black wealth goes down. How is it that you work that hard and your wealth is not going up? If you're working that hard, your wealth should be skyrocketing. In fact, if you do it right, only one generation should actually do labor. And that should be literally for about maybe 10 or 15 years. Literally, if you do it right, if you plan it right, only one generation should have to work. And it should only be about for about 10 or 15 years. After that, no one else has to work anymore unless they want to. Well, how do you say that, Boyce? You're talking crazy, Boyce. You're talking out the side of your head. What's wrong with you, Negro? You talking ridiculous. This is stupid, Boyce. Shut up. I thought you had a PhD. Well, I do have a PhD, asshole. Let me break it down for you. I'm really speaking. I'm speaking to the haters out loud. That's what I'm just being. I'm being a jerk right now. Um, Let me break it down for you.